Matters. It has been a while, and yeah, I'm in my car and I'm driving, but I had something on my mind that I had prepared for, and I really wanted to get it off my chest. Now, first of all, I wanted to say, as you see here, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe to Guna Matters, and also make sure that you hit the notification bell for all notifications for you, obviously, to not miss out on controversial uh, thoughts and topics about what myself, Glenwyn, um, obviously want to get out there. I like controversy. I like to pick the brain of the fans, and especially if it comes to something that a lot of pundits maybe think but don't talk about. But this is not controversy today. This is something that I really have to commend two people. And I must say that the story about Dele Ali coming out with his emotions and his pieces of what he has gone through and um, um sensitive to many people that has gone through the same thing. And I don't want to take anything for granted and uh, make it sound like it is something to be hyped up. A lot of mainstream media obviously are talking about it, but from a fan perspective, and I'm not a Tottenham fan or Everton fan, and I'm a football fan firstly, and then of course I'm an Arsenal fan. And what an interesting interview that was. And it's an interesting sort of topic that has been touched on, and from a young age, as he explained, Dele Ali, uh, from the age of 6, where he was um, um, negatively impacted in his person. Firstly, it was taken away from him, something that is so pure to any person, and for him to have gone through um, the things he've gone through, and I myself was one of the people that said Dele Ali is a talented player and the player that do so much, like he've done, at Tottenham under Mauricio Pochettino. After that, fell off, and as you have said, it is all to his own doing, and obviously the media had a part in it because the media didn't keep quiet of what he has said. So he became that rebellious person, and he became that. Um, Look, I don't want to do the interview over, but what I want to just allude to is that I want to commend the guy. I mean, what a uh, uh, um, hard thing to do is for him to come out and say those things that he did. I mean, if you did watch it, you would understand what I mean. And also, if you didn't watch it, go watch the overlap. I'm not here to obviously promote the overlap and Gary Neville, but I want to just you to experience and pardon me, um, hear the things that Dele Ali has obviously come out to say. Now, a lot of media or social media will come out and say it's PR for him to get back into the thick of things, and obviously to get back onto the pitch, and that sort of thing. But I mean, this guy was really sincere, and it's not a PR move, and it's not something that anybody should take for granted because, and truthfully, he said that if he could help one person, and I am with that. I mean, if I could help one person with my life story, um, then out of being successful in terms of talking about it. And for him to talk about it is healing in itself because of what he's gone through. And therapists will tell you that you got to talk to people, or you got to talk about your shortcomings. You got to talk about the things that you have struggled with and the things that has negatively impacted you. And what a story! And I must commend the guy to come out and lay it out there, and for people to hear. And so many people we hear of, um, Ivan Tony, and another guy that was charged yesterday with gambling problems. I mean, that's a problem in itself. So if Dele Alli could come out and talk about his shortcomings and the experiences he had as a kid growing up, and all that sort of thing, if these guys heard the sincerity in what he has gone through, surely they could take a page out of his book and to say, but you know what? Um, wow, 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 wow. So yeah, I mean, this is a segment that a lot of obviously social media is going to touch on, and but I'm one that are very very close to helping people and talking about the problems and talking about your life that could benefit others, not just yourself in the healing process, but could benefit others that are as stubborn as he used to be, knowing that his mother have abused alcohol and drugs, and people that has come to his house as a youngster, uh, and had to go through it himself to understand why his mother has done what she has done. Uh, and big ups to you, Dali Ali, if you ever see this. And this is a situation of emotion. It's something that he want to get out. He alluded to a few things, saying that it is the best time for him to talk about it. Maybe not in the recent future, as where he just came out of rehab 3 weeks ago, apparently. But yeah, it's amazing. And what I want to say is that he has really had to have to conjure up all that confidence and strength to obviously say and do what he did, and to come out with that. So a lot of media tabloids, as we know, will come out and try to get the negative part of this, maybe call it as a PR stunt. Uh, like I said earlier, for him to obviously get back into the Everton squad, and before he moves on. But I want to just commend him by telling his truth, by bringing out his shortcomings, and for people to understand where he has been and where he wants to go. And I want to say big ups to Gary Neville. I'm not a biggest fan of Gary Neville because Gary Neville has so many things to say, but um, to have that sensitivity to the story of this guy, Dele Ali. I mean, to be so sensitive towards um, 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 Dele Ali, whether it's a pure stunt from his part or not. I still want to commend the guy by just giving him that big ups, because um, you have to be sensitive. You have to be open to so many criticism. Um, I mean, I just did it now myself. I just criticized Gary Neville for saying if it is a PR stunt or if it's not a PR stunt. I mean, that is also an agenda from my part. I'm not going to apologize for it because it is possible. If it's not a PR stunt, and even if it was, I mean, the sensitivity that he portrayed in that story that Dalit speaking of, I want to also commend him as Gary Neville to have the strength and knowing that a lot of tabloids again and other media um, entities and institutions will come out and say, but Gary Neville this, Gary Neville that. But I want to just commend Gary for having obviously the cojones to obviously have Dele Ali pour out his life in front of him and on international um, sort of platforms. So yeah, that is basic, and that is something that I really wanted to touch on. There's so many things that one can say about it, but what an interview! I enjoyed it. I was struck by it. Uh, it was sincere. Gary Neville asked the correct questions, and he had the correct temperament for the interview. And if you didn't watch it, please go see this interview on the overlap. It is an amazing interview. Um, you also come out and say little bits of what Mourinho has done, talking about the previous um, uh, interview from Mourinho where he called Dele Alli a lazy player, a lazy person, and never has it been touched on in that same documentary where he called Dele Alli on one side and apologized. I mean, we as outsiders will see things and perceive in our own minds, or take the snippets in our minds that we want to sort of choose to agree with, or choose to criticize, or choose to whatever that may be. But I am genuinely um, so taken aback with this, and yeah, I just want to congratulate uh, firstly Dele Alli for coming out and talk to the world about his issues and the lifestyle that he's lived, the being coming up as a youngster, coming up and have gone through the things that he's gone through. I mean, there's so many other people, obviously, at similar situations and issues, and maybe are not strong enough to come out and talk about it. I mean, it could be a player next to you, it could be a player in the best team, it could be the best player for that. Hopefully, these guys that are or the people that's struggling with it can do exactly what he did and decide to go for uh, the, the trauma and abused uh, therapy. Big ups to you, Deli Ali. And of course, again, just to recap with Gary Neville having the sensitivity and the temperament for the interview and the situation that has been presented before him. So, all the best to you, Dali Ali, and all the best to your recovery process. And hopefully, you can get back to the player you once were. And all the best to the rest of your career at Everton or wherever it might be. But stay focused, and of course, hope you get what you dream. Uh, obviously, is. Well, that's for me. That's it for me. And so obviously, just hit the like button, subscribe, and of course, uh, make sure that you hit the notification bell for all notifications. And that wasn't about any particular Arsenal information, but this is something that you have to see. It's something that you might even struggle with, and I am grateful, and even so far to say that it was a pleasure really to watch that interview. But yeah, so you've watched Guna Matters, and don't forget, your opinion matters. Cheers.